After the extended phone conversation with McNeil Cronin about the Quinn game, we now have Doug Allison, the men's soccer coach, in here to talk about the Quinn game. But I'm glad you did get in here in time to say hello to McNeil, because we did have a really good conversation.
Good.
Pull your microphone up just a little bit there. How you been?
Good. Tired. A lot of road trips, so glad to be home for the Quinn game. But yeah, he's one incredible guy, McNeil is. And when Andy Kidd, one of his teammates, sent me a video or an email a few years ago and just said, "Have you seen this stuff that McNeil's doing for advocating Down syndrome and the awareness and on the news?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't seen that." He said, "You need to see it." And then we saw it from Winston-Salem. We saw the clip, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this isn't a former player." They became fathers, and it was. I mean, what he's doing for his daughter was unbelievable, and then not just his daughter, for everyone.
Right.
And raising that awareness and just letting people know it's out there and how can we help and all that kind of stuff. And I think he's got a hold of the Upstate Alliance as well, and we invite all them out as well. And it's just then from that I found out that Emery May, one of our players whose father played for Furman too, David May from Kansas, who I played against. So he's an alumni. Emery said, "Well, my younger brother Wyatt has Down syndrome." Are you serious? So now all of a sudden these links come in. So David May, Emery's father, and Wyatt are flying in from Kansas tonight, and they're going to come and meet McNeil, and they're going to be part of the Quinn game. So there's two alumni coming together with children that have Down syndrome, and they can talk about their experiences and how they're involved in Kansas. Mr. and Mrs. May are both heavily involved in the Kansas awareness of Down syndrome. McNeil didn't know that. So I'm just like, I like putting people together like that just so they can get together and get more awareness and just build it up and share their experiences and stuff. So that's what's so rewarding about this.
Yeah,
You know?
I asked McNeil this question. I'll ask you too from your standpoint. This is the fourth year of the Quinn game. How's it grown? How has the whole spectrum of the thing grown in now 4 years?
I mean, it's funny because I was walking down. I was trying to jog, but I ended up walking down my neighborhood the other day, and I was just turning the corner to go through the little cut through to the next neighborhood, and the lady comes out and says, "Are we doing this again this year?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Little Johnny here, my son was at the game, and it was a lady down my street, and she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, bring him over any time. I mean, come to any game. Don't just come to that game."
Right.
And she goes, he can't wait to come to that game. It's just like one of his big things in his year. He marks it on his calendar. He wants to know when it is all the time. So as it gets through the community more and more, it's great. And we've typically done it with Wofford, and Ralph Paulson, the head coach over there, has been so gracious to help out. And but we couldn't get that date this year. I think something happened with Quinn that I don't know if McNeil alluded to this, but I think she has a little starring role on a catwalk or something somewhere.
He didn't say
I don't know exactly what it is, but they couldn't do the Wofford game this year because the conference is realigned anyway with home and away. So we're doing it with PC, but Quinn had another engagement, and I'm like, let me see.
So she big leagued you.
Yeah, she has. And I'm going to talk to her about that. I mean, that's one of the things. I have an agenda with Quinn tomorrow.
Yeah. I gave you your start, and look how you repay me. Now, that's fantastic. I love it. This is Doug Allison, the men's soccer coach here at Furman, and we like to laugh and everything, and I know that you don't necessarily like the accolades, but you do deserve a lot of credit for being willing to open your program up to this.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, just helping McNeil or Quinn, and the family just is more important. More important. I don't need anything for that. It's just how can we help alumni and keep them involved and show that they don't ever leave this program. They don't. They're always going to be part of this school and this program, and having the opportunity, the platform to do that, I'm lucky to be able to have that. I really am. So to be able to see these kids come through every year and they go out in the communities and they do what McNeil's doing and Andy Kidd's doing and Graham, who he alluded to as well, it makes me really proud.
How do your current players interact and embrace this game?
Well, obviously Emery, he's going to walk out with his younger brother tomorrow. I mean, there won't be too many dry eyes. You know, what
Yeah.
I mean, and if you can't get up for that, there's something wrong. But they do. And I think it's something they're seeing that's more and more important to me every year. That I still involve this. We still do the Gray Griffin game. Gray's dad is like, I mean, that was all these years ago now. I mean, how do you keep? Because we don't want to forget that.
Right.
I mean, you are always going to be a big part of us, as Quinn is. And as she gets older and tries to kick us to the side every once in a while, I'm still going to bring her back for the Quinn game. But I think it's an important thing to be able to do. You have to let people know about the importance of awareness, because if we get too wrapped up in just the cell phones and all the Instagram. We'll put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, put it on the feed. Make sure that people know about the good stuff too.
Yeah, and then even more important than that, because you can get lost in social media, there's still nothing like the actual human contact, which is why I hope that people will come to Stone Stadium tomorrow in droves. And yeah, there's a football game going on the road. You can listen to it at Campus FM. You got to take your radio with you and listen to the football game.
You can watch it, I'm sure.
Yeah, collegesportslive.com, but turn your radios down, or turn that down and listen to us.
Yeah.
But I hope people would go, because there's something about the being there, the human contact, that really has even more of an effect than anything you can get by watching a video or seeing something on social media.
Yeah, you get a hug from Quinn, your day's made. As simple as that. I mean, and all these other issues go out the window. All these things we worry about go out the window, and you see her smiling and her running around, and then McNeil coming down, and what a dad he is. You know, just there's so many different little subset stories that have come from this. And one of the old Wofford assistants was in the crowd 2 years ago at the game, and he was in tears. He was like, my sister has this, and and the fact that we're doing so much to promote this, he goes, this is the best thing you can do. I mean, it was just, so I was getting messages from that. He was coming down, and he came, I don't know where he drove in from, but he wasn't the Wofford assistant at that time, but he drove in several hours to come in and say, I had to be at this game. I wanted to see it. And we don't have a ton of people at the games, but we have a lot of students at our games.
Yeah.
They need to be aware of this as well.
Yes, they do.
The Furman students and the Furman family need to be aware of one of our former Furman guys has a daughter who has this. There's a lot of you out there, the Furman students and a lot of employees and that, who know someone that has Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And now you'll take a little bit more notice of those kids. She,
according to McNeil, has been working on her soccer skills. I know she scored a goal in front of the crowd last year, and he says he anticipates she'll do it again this year, maybe with a little more flair.
Well, 3 years ago, McNeil started off, but he didn't give her the ball. He shot and scored. And, I mean, it was her time. She was 3 at the time, 4. He carried it, and I think the old adrenaline came back in, and he scored, and he turned around, and he was celebrating. I'm like, this is about Quinn, McNeil. But so the next couple of years, I think we're handcuffing him a little bit, and we're keeping him back. And
short leash.
Yeah, short leash. But I'm looking forward to see how she's going to score and what kind of flair she's got, because she's a character.
Oh, we saw that in here a year ago. People who remember the show, like I said, man, Mama was sitting. We're on the upper level of the radio booth during the games. We're down, 2 steps, 3 steps, broadcasting from down there. So Mama is sitting on the top step, and she's playing defense. She's playing goalkeeper. As McNeil, or as maybe McNeil too, I don't know. But as Quinn made her way to the step, she was kicking her back into play, and she was running around here and ended up on Doug's lap for a good portion of the interview, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, she's such a sweetie. She really is. And you say you're not supposed to, film with kids or animals, is that right? She was both that day. And she but I love her, and the family and anything else we can do. And I had such a sweet letter.
Most small children that age are both. Animals. So yeah.
Well, I had such a sweet letter from McNeil's wife, coming up and just letting us know about some stuff that had happened with someone else in a family they knew or another friend they knew, and how much this meant to them. And I'm like, all right, you got to stop saying thank you. It's okay. She's always going to be part of us.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the actual game. At 1-3, coming back off the road, the regular season home opener, and team needs a win right now, I think.
Yeah, we do. Struggled a little bit. They had a big lightning delay, and we're up at Davidson and got a couple of injuries early. Not as an excuse, but one of our top defenders got a gash in his head and had 8 staples put in his head. So,
nice.
So he was out after that, and somehow there was no doctor there to do the stitches until after the game. But that's okay. But no, we've got to finish our chances, and we've got to play a little bit better defense. And yeah, we need to, because when we've got PC Saturday, then we have Carolina and Clemson coming up right after that. So we play a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah.
So,
but all designed for conference play.
And in the end, if we're ready for conference play, it'll be worth it. I mean, we are not skimping anyone. We're playing in tough environments. Charlotte's a good team. They were number 1 or 2 in their conference last year. PC actually won their conference last year. Wake Forest, we played in preseason, were runners-up and won the in the NCAAs and won the ACC last year. Ohio State's a pretty good team out there. They were number 14 in the country. So we've played good teams. We will continue to play good teams. But, I mean, sometimes you're on the wrong end of 1-0. It's tough, but it's tough when you're riding home at 1:30 in the morning and you've just lost, but that's part of growing. It's part of the adversity that these kids will get and makes the good times better, as everyone says. I don't like losing, believe me. No one does, but it's we do need to get a win pretty quick.
I know how I feel on the baseball bus riding home after a loss like that, and I'm just a broadcaster, so it's what the players and coaches feel, obviously, are it's much more magnified than what the broadcaster is feeling. So, I think people don't sometimes take that in consideration. I mean, you take these things, take them hard, but at the same time, you have to learn to flush them, right?
It's very hard to. It's next play, as people have said, next play. But the other thing is, you get back at 1:30 in the morning, and the message we send is, guys, go to class.
Yeah.
You have class tomorrow morning at 8. Well, this morning at 8. You need to go to class, and do not miss because of that. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just, we need to get better. And you need to be in class, and you need to be studying, and, you need to be a good student. That's why you're here.
7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yep.
On-field ceremonies, the pregame stuff will begin when?
But just right before kickoff. We'll get all the Upstate Alliance, the Down syndrome kids and families in like we normally do, and McNeil will hopefully make a little speech again. Then Quinn will do the ceremonial kickoff, and hopefully she'll beat a couple of players and score. And it'd be nice for us to get a goal this year. Actually, I may try and count this one if we get. So once that's done, we'll get the regular game on. But please come and support Quinn and Down syndrome awareness, and support these boys. I mean, football's away tomorrow, and I think the women's soccer team is in Kentucky. So come and get on campus, and it's our first home game. So come support these kids. Yeah,
and they'll actually McNeil and Quinn and the whole family. They'll actually be at your pregame meal a couple hours before game time, right?
And I'm inviting Wyatt from Kansas and his father David to that, so they can meet, and then they can start talking and stuff. So it'll be a pretty emotional game.
I think you've opened the gates on something here.
I hope so.
I really do.
So. If something comes of this, that's great, and that's what you hope for. You hope people take this and take advantage of it, and for all the right reasons. That there's awareness. You embrace these kids, you hug these kids, you love these kids, and you say thanks to the parents.
Outstanding. 7 o'clock tomorrow. And if you can't make it, man, we hope you can. But if you can't, you can watch the game and the pregame ceremony via the SoCon Digital Network, and you can get that link at FurmanPaladins.com. Let's go get a win tomorrow.
Try and get a win. We need to, and that's just part of this. I will tell you this: the kids are working hard.
Yeah.
I
don't doubt that.
They're working hard. It does get frustrating sometimes, but there's no finger pointing. There's all this, and we may take some more losses, and we will take some more losses. But you know what? If everything's at the end for the conference, I'm okay with that.
Good stuff. Thank you, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Dan.
That is Furman head soccer coach Doug Allison.